Good evening, everyone. I hope all of you are doing well. Good evening, Bipul. How are you? Good evening. Blessings to everyone. So I hope I am properly audible and visible to everyone. And yes, Anmol, please ask your question. Yes, yes, and it is for UPSC only. आज कुर्ता ही है. Okay, I used to wear this a lot a few years back, but then I thought today let's have something different. Is KGS going to start main test series for 2025? Yes, definitely it would be started. And as soon as it is started, it will be announced. It will be announced on the website also, on the applications also, and even on the YouTube channel as well. Okay. So whenever it is planned, whenever it is announced, it will be there. Okay. Okay, there is one question, world river ki tributaries. No, you have to just see some of the important rivers. It's not that you have to remember their origin, where they are going. You have to just know where they are located. UPSC is not going to ask you about like specific things about them. They are going to ask you about the general knowledge about these rivers. And only for a few rivers. It's not that like if you look at Europe, you have like various rivers. So you don't have to look into all these aspects. If we talk about all these things, like when we are talking about the straits, when we are talking about the rivers, or when we are talking about the even we were earlier talking about the different sea and all. So in all these dimensions, in all these aspects, even the ocean currents, they are mainly asked from the position, like they are mainly asked in respect to their location in the world, where they are located. There are mapping questions and we are preparing according to it. You don't have to go into the detail of it until unless you have optionals or other thing. Okay. So in general, when we are talking about world geography, we talk mostly about the locational aspects. So do the test series is relevant, those already in UPSC 25 batch? I think yes, it will be relevant for you. Like this is, I think you are asking about the test series which was launched in the last week. So yes, it is going to be relevant for you. It is going to provide you 43 tests for revision. Okay. So yes, if you can go for it, it will definitely help you. So, okay, what is your name? Star. The name is Star Shadow. How is the shadow created from a star? Okay, now see, yes, you have asked about one question, that the source and syllabus. Okay, I will ask the team to update it there also. I have got your feedback. I will update you to the team that the source and syllabus is not easily, I think you cannot easily find it. So I will tell it to the team that they can make it available to everyone. Okay. Maybe if you see when the tests, when there was announcement for this, there may be a PDF which has been uploaded in Telegram group. So that was also containing the source and all. But if it is not there, I will ask the team to upload it again, to send it again, that what are the sources of this, from where the questions are going to be asked, what is the syllabus. I will ask the team to update it there. Okay. Good evening, everyone. 2026 graduation. Yes, when you are if you are if you are going in the third year, if you are completing the third year or fourth year in 2026, then yes, you can appear. If you have already crossed 21 years of age, then you can appear for the examination. So there is no such foundation that when the year when you are like passing, you can appear easily. There is no such ban on, there is no such prohibition of it. Okay. So you can easily go for the test in 2026. Okay. Now, so I think I have answered all your queries. Now I am coming back to my queries. Okay. The last day I have asked you to revise the rivers of the world, the rivers of the world. And in today's session, we are going to see some of the questions with respect to those rivers. Okay. So see, the first question here, before that, let us discuss what topics which we are going to discuss today. The first thing is rivers of the world. Second thing is tuberculosis in India. Then we will discuss about carbon market and GST Council. GST Council we had to discuss last day, but we could not discuss it. So we are going to take it today itself, GST Council. Okay. Now, let's come to the first part. So here you have a question. Consider the following rivers: Nile, Amazon or Yangtze. What is the ascending order of the above river according to their length? According to their length, what is the ascending order of these rivers? What is the ascending order of these rivers? Okay, so I am getting one option as B. Okay. In BPSC examination, there are 5 options also. So I am giving you one more option. Okay. In BPSC examination, you have A, B, C, D, and E. So I am giving you 5 options, making it much more tougher. Two, 1, 3 होना चाहिए था. Okay. What is the ascending order of these rivers? I have got one answer as A, some answers as B. Krishna is saying it should be 2, 1, 3. So, do you want me to add another one? Which one is having the greatest length? Which one is the longest among them? Which is the longest one? Can anyone tell me which one is the longest one? The longest one is Nile River. Okay. So we have first thing that Nile River is there in the first. So it should be like so Nile River is the longest one. Second longest is Amazon, and the third longest is Yangtze. So that's why I have added a fifth option, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So yes, there was a mistake in the options. It should be 3, 2, 1. That's why I have added the fifth option. You should have guessed. Okay. This is asking about the ascending order. Ascending order means the one which is having the shortest length. So Yangtze River among them is having the shortest length. Then after we have the Amazon, then we have the Nile River. Okay, Nile River. You can see this Nile River is having the length of 6,650. Amazon River is having the length of 6,400, and Yangtze River is having the length of 6,300. Okay, so these 3 rivers are there. And then we have this Mississippi, Missouri River also, ENC, Angara, Selanga River also. So if you remember just the first 3, that is also more than sufficient. The correct answer here is E option, out of the syllabus. Okay. So I hope this is clear. Here the answer will be E. Now coming to the second question. Consider the following. River Nile has its origin in Lake Victoria. River Congo crosses the Tropic of Cancer twice, and Victoria Falls is located on Zambezi River. Okay. Now, what you have to tell is which of them are correct. Which of them are correct? First is saying River Nile has its origin in Lake Victoria. River Congo crosses the Tropic of Cancer twice, and Victoria Falls is located on Zambezi River. So tell me about this question. I think this all of you have seen this. We have revised this world map. We have seen this river portion. So tell me, I am getting answers as D also, B also, A also, and a few people are saying C option also. Okay. So I am getting all the four answers A, B, C, and D. Now, see this first one. River Nile has its origin in Lake Victoria. So this is the very first thing, like you can see from the Lake Victoria itself, we have the emergence of this white, we have this emergence of White Nile also. Okay, so it is going from this area. Okay, so this Lake Victoria is its origin. It is considered as its origin. So first statement is correct. Second is saying River Congo crosses the Tropic of Cancer twice. Now, this is one of the question which you should have answered. If you have seen the map of Africa, you should be aware that Congo River is almost in the middle of Africa. Congo River is almost in the middle of Africa. Even if you look at Africa, you will find that the Tropic of Cancer also passes through it. The Tropic of Capricorn also passes through it. And Congo is situated in the middle of Africa. Here it is written Tropic of Cancer. So would it be correct? If it is written Tropic of Cancer, would it be correct? It crosses the equator, not the Tropic of Cancer. Tropic of Cancer is passing through that region of Sahara and all. Okay. So this second option here is incorrect. And from here itself, you can get the answer as C. Victoria Falls is located on Zambezi River. So that third option is correct. Here the catch was identifying this one. The catch was identifying this one, that Tropic of Cancer is in the northern part of Africa. Congo is almost in the middle of it. Congo River crosses the equator twice. That is its uniqueness. Okay. In India, there is one river which cuts the Tropic of Cancer twice. In India, there is one river which crosses the Tropic of Cancer twice. Can you name the river? Yes. So it is Mahi River which cuts the Tropic of Cancer twice. Okay. So that here we have this not Tropic of Cancer, but we have this equator, and Zambezi River is there. So we have this rivers of Africa. You can see here on this map. Here we have the Congo River. This is the Congo River almost in the middle of Africa. Okay. You can see it is like passing through this area, almost this region. Here you have the Lake Victoria just near the equator. Just near the equator, we have this Lake Victoria. Here we have the Congo River also. Here you can see the White Nile River is originating from here and going into the Mediterranean. Okay. So this is the rivers of this portions of your Africa. On this side, you can see Zambezi River is there. Again, an important one. So like see, we have this River Nile considered to be the longest in the world. Lake Victoria is its origin and Blue and White Nile are its tributaries. River Congo, only river to cross equator twice. Okay, it is also called as Zaire River and deepest river in the world. Another prominent part is it is the deepest river in the world. So that's why River Congo or Zaire River is a prominent one. Okay. Then we have the Zambezi River. It is the main source of electricity and huge biodiversity in this area. It is having this Victoria Falls also. Kariba Dam, Kehora Dam, they are situated in this area. It is having, this region is having good relations with India. That's why it is famous also. Okay. Then we have some other rivers also, like this Orange River is there. It is also famous one. longest in South Africa, starts in Drakensberg. Can you tell me this Drakensberg, why it is famous? Why is the Drakensberg famous in the world or famous in South Africa? Okay, Neil, I will come to your question. I will come to your question. Acha, this it is written here itself that first diamonds were found in this area. Okay. It is written here. You should not see this. You should answer. So it is famous for diamonds. This Drakensberg area, it is famous for diamond. Now in the alluvial valleys of this river, also it is called as Senku river. In the alluvial valleys of this river, diamonds were found. So suppose that you are going across the river someday and you find diamonds in its valleys, diamonds near its bank. So that is the importance of this Orange River and Drakensberg region. Okay. Then we have this Limpopo River divides South Africa from Botswana and Zimbabwe, and Niger River is also there. Okay. So these are some of the prominent rivers of Africa. Coming to the next question. Consider the following pair, river and their location. River and their location. Yangtze River, we have the location Myanmar and Vietnam. Seine River, France. Yellow River, China. How many pairs are correctly matched? How many pairs here are correctly matched? Okay, so I think the answer is B. Many people are saying B. Okay. Yes. So yes, we have just seen Yangtze River. Yangtze River is there in China, not Myanmar and Vietnam. So this first option here is incorrect. Seine River, you know that it has recently been there in the news. Why is Seine River in the news? Can you tell me why it was there in the news? Seine River. Seine River is there in the news. Why? Yes. The second option is also correct. I think one person was saying that, Krishna was saying that, but yellow China correct. No, even Seine is correct. Seine is the river in Paris. This is the river where we had this Paris Olympics right now. So Paris Olympics had just finished, and this Seine river was there in the news for quite some time. So it is there in France. Seine river is there in France, and Yellow River is there in China. This Yangtze River, it is also there in China. Okay. So here we have two options. How many pairs? Two pairs. Okay. Only two pairs are correct. One pair is incorrect. Okay. One more question here. Like you can see this Yangtze River. You can see starting from here. This Yangtze River is a very third longest river in the world. Third longest river in the world, and entirely within just one country. Entirely within just one country. So that is its prominence. That if you look at this, if you look at Amazon, if you look at even this Nile River, you will find that it is spread across other countries. But when we talk about this river, Yangtze River, it is the longest river. It is the longest river which lies entirely within just one country, and that is China. Okay. So Yangtze River is there originating from the Tibetan Plateau and is there in China. Okay. Now coming to the next question. How many of the following rivers drain in Black Sea? We have options Danube, Dnieper, Dniester and Volga. Yes, you will have to revise again. That's why I am giving you the task. That's why I'm giving you the task to revise different things. In the next week, I will give you topics related to environment. Like tomorrow, we will have like a revision of the current affairs of this week and last week. Tomorrow, we are not taking anything from geography. Tomorrow, we will take questions from the current affairs which we have discussed in the last 1 week or even previous weeks. Okay. And then again on Monday, we are going to take some topics from environment. I will tell you in tomorrow's class. Okay. So answer is C also, B also, D also. At least not A. See, if you look at this, Danube, Dnieper, Neistat, these three are going into the Black Sea. Volga is going into this. Volga is going into this Caspian Sea. Volga is going in Caspian Sea. There is another river here, Don River. There is another river here, Don River. Can you tell me where is this Don River going? In which sea we have this Don River? In which sea we are having this Don River? See, it is going into Sea of Azov. It is going there in Sea of Azov. We can see here. Like this is the Don River going into this Sea of Azov here. Dnieper, Neistat, Danube. They are all coming in the Black Sea. We have the Volga River here going into this Caspian Sea. On this side, we have the Rhine River, we have the Elbe River, Vistula and others. Okay. Here also you have the Seine River also. Not that much far. Okay. In this portion, you have the Seine River also. So, this Danube, Dnieper, Neistat, they are going into the Black Sea. The Don River is going into the Sea of Azov. And then we have Volga River going into the Caspian Sea. Okay. So I hope that is clear. Is it clear about the Don River? Now there was one question from Anil that there is a panicness. Whenever you are going to solve this, solve any question, there is a panic in your mind, like there is this challenge. You get confused. You are having this this loss of temper there. You are losing your mind there. You are getting this like hesitation. You are getting this confusion that maybe I should be going for other answer. Maybe that is incorrect or correct. So this is what you have to work on, and how you can overcome this, how you can overcome this hesitation by solving as many questions as you can. Okay. This is entirely about practice. This is entirely about practice. This is about making your mind concentrate on things. Like some of you might be playing different games. Some of you might be doing different activities in your life, different hobbies. You might be having different hobbies. Now suppose that suppose that if you are, let us say, playing badminton or cricket or hockey or anything. So when you are playing something, you know that if you are playing cricket, so suppose that you are having hesitation in playing the Yorker balls or bouncer balls. So how do you overcome that? You overcome that by training for that very thing. You cannot skip it. You have to train yourself for it. So this is also the training part. When we are revising 4-5 questions on daily basis, it means you are overcoming your hesitations. You are tackling that hesitation on the daily basis. If you solve 10 questions daily, if you solve 10 questions daily from today itself, you are solving 10 questions daily, then do remember one thing. By the time you go for prelims examination, you will not fear anything. This is a regular training. This is a day by day regular training Solve 10 questions per day from today itself, and you will find yourself in a much better, in a much confident position just by the end of December itself. Okay. So your examination preparation for 2025 has already started. Even those who are going for 2026, your preparation starts right here. It is not that we will prepare in 2025 end or 2026. Start from now. Prepare in such a manner that if you are going for 2026 examination, you will clear it in the first attempt itself. Okay. So your preparation starts from here. Okay. Now, coming to the next topic for the day. What is the next topic? Can you tell me what is this? Can you tell me, can you guess what is this? Some people are saying bacteria, some people are saying penicillin. This is basically a microscopic view of Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Mycobacterium tuberculosis. This is a bacteria. Okay. Mycobacterium tuberculosis. It is the microscopic view of this bacteria. So bacteria is appearing like this. Okay. Don't confuse it with kurkure or any other thing. It is not kurkure. It is bacteria. Okay. Now, so what is the news here? The news is about tuberculosis. Okay. There is a news article, editorial today that is about tuberculosis in India. So in that tuberculosis article, a lot of things has been discussed, mainly about like what should be the treatment method or what should be the focus of treatment method in India. So in that context, let us discuss about this disease, that what exactly is tuberculosis, how it is caused, what are the impact, what is the treatment method, what is the incidence of tuberculosis in India. So we are going to comprehensively cover this topic, tuberculosis. Okay. See, when we talk about this, there is a pathogen or a bacteria which is Mycobacterium tuberculosis. A Mycobacterium tuberculosis which is responsible behind this tuberculosis in India, or sorry, tuberculosis disease, not in India, across the world. Okay. So Mycobacterium tuberculosis is responsible for it. Now, like, how it is getting transmitted? What is the mode of transmission? This is airborne. Like, it is a bacteria. So suppose that if a person is there, if the person is infected, and while that person is sneezing, then the bacteria will circulate in the air around it. The bacteria will be circulating in the air around that person. And if there is any other person in his vicinity, then even the bacteria may go to other person. But see, there is a very important part about tuberculosis. Tuberculosis do not impact the people instantly. They do not impact the person instantly. This is one such disease. Which may take like even several years for getting fully or like contaminating or fully infecting the entire body. Tuberculosis, Mycobacterium tuberculosis, grows in a very slow manner. It grows progressively in a very slow manner. So suppose that even a person has been infected by tuberculosis, he might not even get aware about it for a very long period of time. And then gradually, what will happen? In his body, the entire bacteria will spread and his conditions will deteriorate. After some time, when he is going to the doctor, then he will get to know that the bacteria has spread in various parts of his body. Normally, like for like other bacteria also, this is going to impact the lungs first. It is going to impact the lungs first. Hence, you might have seen that those who are suffering from this tuberculosis, they also like have a lot of coughing or sneezing. Okay. So this is one thing which is transmitted via air. This is transmitted via air. Okay. So airborne, like cough, sneeze, etc., it can be transferred. It takes around 2 to 10 weeks. Okay. So incubation period means like almost for, in general cases also, a person may be infected by tuberculosis, but around even for 2 or 3 months, he will not be even aware about it. In some cases, it may take even several years that people are not aware that they have got this infection. So this is one of the major challenge with tuberculosis. Now, this attacks the lung, but then it can attack other system also, kidney, spine, etc., etc. Okay. So this tuberculosis is one such thing. Okay. Then, if we talk about India, what we see that India is having the highest burden of tuberculosis in the entire world. Around 26% of tuberculosis cases in the entire world occur in India. Now you may say that we are having the largest population, hence we are having most of the disease. No, it's not like that. Our population accounts for 17 to 18% of global population. Our population is like 17 to 18% of global population. But the burden of tuberculosis in India is 26%. We have like 17-18% population of the world, but the number of tuberculosis cases in India is much more higher. It is 26%. Okay. In 2023 itself, 25 lakh people in India have been diagnosed with tuberculosis. So you can see that it is at a vast scale. It is at a very large scale. It is infecting a lot of people. So that is one of the conditions. Now, again, a very interesting fact about this tuberculosis. It is one of the disease which has been there for several centuries. Like in 2008, some archaeologists have discovered 2 such bodies. They have covered 2 skeletons which were 9,000 years old. Okay. They have discovered some skeletons which were 9,000 years old, and even those people were infected with tuberculosis. Even they were infected with tuberculosis. So you can imagine that this disease is there for like several centuries now. It is for several centuries. And this is one of the rare things. Normally diseases come and go. But this is one such disease which has continued for such a long period of time. For such a long period of time. That is its like significance. That is its like crucial part. And also a matter of concern. Now, what is the treatment method? There is one thing which you might have heard most of the time, that DOTS. Okay, DOTS. So what is DOTS? DOTS is directly observed treatment, short course therapy. Directly observed treatment, short course therapy. So under this DOTS scheme or under this DOTS therapy, people are given different type of medicines for 6 months, sometimes for 9 months, sometimes for 11, 18, 24 months. So normally from 6 months to 24 months, according to different patients, according to their level of infection, there is different schedule of treatment. Okay. So from 6 to 24 months, 6 to 24 months, that is the course of treatment. Now, why India is having like a higher prevalence of TB or even relapse? Relapse means again the TB comes into a person. So why it is having? You know that we are self-made doctors. We as Indians are self-made doctors. So suppose that if doctor has prescribed a person that you have to take medicine for 5 days, but after 2 days you observe that now I am feeling quite healthy. So what most of the people do, they think that why to use these medicines of the next 3 days? I am healthy now. So why to spend the money on getting these medicines of 3 days, or why to use them? It will be harmful for us. So many a times, even after doctor prescription, we generally avoid taking the medicines. Once we start feeling that, okay, now we are healthy, we can do anything, we are immune, we are Shaktiman. Okay. So this is also one of the thing. This is also one of the thing that we are self-declared doctors. So in this tuberculosis also, this is a treatment of 6 months for complete eradication of the bacteria. But then after a few months, if people start to feel good, that now I am feeling healthy, they generally drop the medicine, they avoid taking the medicine. And in that situation, it may come back again. So DOTS is one such thing which is like it has to be implemented in its full course for elimination of tuberculosis. Okay. Now, in India, across all the public sector hospitals, the treatment of tuberculosis, the medicines are provided free of cost. Okay. So, like tuberculosis is one of the priorities of the government. So, government is having this aimed at, we have to eliminate tuberculosis. So, free treatment for all in public sector hospitals. Even there is incentive. There is incentive also that if you are taking medicines, if you are going through the DOTS therapy, the people are given 500 rupees monthly, that eat these medicines and take this 500 rupees. You can purchase fruits from the market and you can increase your nutrient content. So free medicine, 500 rupees extra for treatment of tuberculosis, and still we are having the largest burden of tuberculosis in India. Government has got a number of people who are incentivized to make sure that people are taking medicines, people are completing their DOTS therapy. You can imagine from here itself that government is incentivizing the persons who are suffering from TB. Government is also incentivizing those people who are making sure that the patients are taking the medicines on time. And even after that, what we see that the number of tuberculosis is still very high in India. Okay. So that is why, like, that is one of the part, we are self-declared doctors. We think that what the doctors will tell us. Okay. So that is the challenge in India. Okay. Now, there is one more thing. This is a medicine. Tuberculosis was there in the news due to this medicine also. So it is having a component. It is having a component beta-quinine. It is used for treatment of tuberculosis in India. Okay. It is used for treatment of tuberculosis. So why it was there in the news? There is a company Johnson and Johnson. There is a company Johnson and Johnson, the one which is providing the baby powder and all. Okay. So this Johnson and Johnson company is having this patent over beta-quinine. So its patent was about to be over. Then it changed a little bit of formula and it applied for fresh patents. It was cancelled. It was opposed by some organizations in India and it was cancelled. Okay. So beta-quinine is one of the one of the medicine which is used for treatment of tuberculosis in India, especially those tuberculosis which has become drug resistant, which are not getting cured by normal medicines like isocyanide and others. So in that situation, they make use of beta-quinine, and it is costly because it was patented by Johnson and Johnson. Now that patent has been cancelled, it has been removed. Now it can be prepared by all other companies, and it is expected that its price will come down by around 80%. Okay. So that is one of the things. You might be aware about generic drugs. We have discussed that also sometime, but yes, this beta-quinine is there. Yes, Bittu, it has been generally seen that in the tropical areas, the bacteria's growth is more, bacterias are more prominent. So in tropical areas, there is higher incidences of this. Okay. The medicine is sold from government hospitals, so many people quit their treatment. Yeah, like in tuberculosis, yes, of course, like we blame the government for many things, but here again we can see that like in this scenario, it is not only the government which is responsible for it. We might also have to see it from time to time. Like if the people are adhering to the prescriptions, if they are adhering to the advice of doctors, so it is on their part also. Okay. Coming to the next topic, there is one thing called as carbon market. Can you tell me what is this carbon market? Anyone having idea about this? What is this carbon market? We are going to learn some of the terms here. Even if they modify the drug, the previous version of the drug is able to make for all, the patient would be on the new medication. See, the thing is, how do people get the medicine? They get the medicine on the advice of the doctors. How the doctors advise the medicine? Now you know that there is a pressure on the doctors from the different companies also, that you should be prescribing these medicines. You should prescribe this medicine instead of the older ones. Okay. So it is an entire nexus. Companies know that people can purchase the earlier medicines, the previous ones, but then they also know that they will pressurize the doctors. And once you have pressurized the doctors will write your medicine, and in that scenario, people are going to purchase it. In India, there is sufficient amount of generic drugs. Many medicines which are sold at, let us say, 200 rupees or 400 rupees, their generic can be availed in 50 rupees or 60 rupees also. Now, first thing is, people are not aware that the generic medicines are as effective as brand medicine. But on the second part, this is also true that many of the generic drugs are lacking in the quality. Many of the generic drugs are not prepared properly, so they lack the quality also. So it is coming from both sides. Sometimes people don't have trust, and sometimes the generic manufacturers do not prepare the medicines in the desired manner. And this all leads to a situation where people believe on whatever the doctor is prescribing. Even if there are any alternate medicines, people do not go for it. Why? Because they think that whatever doctor has told me, I have to take only that medicine, nothing else. Okay. Selling and buying of carbon credit. Okay. Buying, selling of carbon credit. Yes, correct. A request about disaster management. Okay, whenever the classes is arranged, I will take it. Don't worry about it. Yes. So see, there was, like you might all be aware about, there was a thing called as Kyoto Protocol. There was a thing called as Kyoto Protocol. So under the Kyoto Protocol, there were some developed nations. There were some developed nations. Now, these developed nations, they were given a target. What was the target? To reduce the carbon emission. To reduce the carbon emission intensity. Reduce the carbon emission intensity. They were given this target that you have to reduce the carbon emission intensity. Only for a few developed nations, only for some developed nations, the target was given that you have to reduce the carbon emission intensity. Now, at the same time, there was development of different mechanisms. And one of the mechanism which was developed at that time, it was called as CDM. It was called as Clean Development Mechanism. It was called as Clean Development Mechanism. So how we can understand this? Like suppose that there are two countries. Suppose that we have two countries, United Kingdom, and on this side we have India. We have India on this side and UK on this side. Now let us suppose that UK is there and UK wants like to reduce the carbon emission because it has been given a target. Let us say that it has been given a target of reducing 10 ton of carbon equivalent, CO2 equivalent. Let us say that it was having a target that you have to reduce 10 tons of carbon equivalent. But in its own country, it was not able to do so. It was not able to achieve this target. At the same time, let us say India was going for establishment of a thermal power plant. Let us say that India had planned that we are going to establish a 500 megawatt thermal power plant. So UK contacted India. I am giving an example. Okay. UK contacted India that instead of thermal power plant, go for solar. Instead of thermal power plant, go for establishment of a solar power plant. We will help you. Okay. So India said, okay, we will go for this. So then India instead of going for thermal power plant, went for this solar power plant. And by doing so, let us say that India has reduced 10 tons of, reduced 10 tons of carbon equivalent. If India would have gone for thermal power plant, it would have added 10 tons of carbon equivalent. But instead, India went for solar power plant and it reduced the emission which could have been there by 10 tons. So India will get a certificate for it. India will get a certificate for this. Carbon certificate. Okay. India will get a carbon certificate for this. Now, UK will ask India that, okay, now how I am going to help you? Sell this carbon certificate to us. Sell this carbon certificate to us. We will give you the money. We will give you the money. Okay. So this is how UK has got its carbon certificate. India has got money in order to establish the solar power plant. India has got money to establish the solar power plant and UK has got the carbon certificate. So on one hand, we have reduced the emission globally and at the same time, developing countries have got the benefit from the developed nation. So from here, there was emergence of a market where there was trading of carbon certificate. From this part, there was trading of carbon certificate. Carbon certificate. And this method was called as Clean Development Mechanism. It is one of the part of Kyoto Protocol. There are other things also, joint implementation, but that is between two developed nations. Here it is between one developed, one developing nation. So this is how the carbon market began in the world and right now it is flourishing across the world. So why we are discussing this topic? Why we are discussing this topic? Last year in 2023, government has announced that we are going to set up our own domestic carbon market. In India, the domestic carbon market is going to be set up. It is going to be made a flourishing market in India, and hence there are a lot of discussion about this from time to time. Okay. So this is why we are discussing this topic. Prior to this carbon market, there was another scheme in India similar to this. There was another scheme in India similar to this carbon market. And what was the name of the scheme? The name was PAT. PAT stands for Perform, Achieve, Trade. perform, achieve, trade. So it was a similar type of scheme. How this is working? It is by the Bureau of Energy Efficiency and all. There are a number of institutions which are involved in this. But how this works, let us see that. Suppose that there are two companies, X and Y. Let us say that both of them are making steel. Both of them are making steel. Now, in India, we know that they are using electricity mostly from thermal power plants. They are using electricity mostly from thermal power plants. Let us assume that in producing 1,000 ton of steel, let us assume that they are emitting 10 tons of carbon. 10 tons of carbon dioxide equivalent. Okay. So in producing 1,000 ton of steel, both these companies are using or are leading to emission of 10 tons of carbon dioxide. Now both of them have been given a target. What is the target? That you have to bring down this one. You have to bring down by, let us say, 20%. Both of them were given a target that you have to bring down the emission by 20%. Means you have to bring it to 8 tons. You have to bring it to 8 tons. So now there are two companies, X and Y. Let us say that this X has upgraded its systems. This X has increased its efficiency of the various machineries, various equipments, and it led to reduction of emission intensity by 30%. Let us assume that it has led to reduction of emission intensity by 30%. So it has overdone. It has got 10% extra. Okay. So now let us say that it has got 30 certificates. It has got 30 certificates. Now this company has reduced only 10%. So it has got 10 certificates. What was the target for both of them? The target was 20 certificates each. You have to generate or you have to reduce the emission by 20% each. This was able to get 10%. This was able to do 30% reduction. So now in order to fulfill its target, how many certificates it requires? It requires 10 additional certificates. So now it will consult this company X that give us our 10 certificates. We will pay you money. They require this because government has mandated it. So now they will pay the money to this X company. X company will get extra benefit. First of all, they have helped in they have helped in reduction of carbon emission. On the second front, they have also got some reward for it. So perform, achieve, trade. This scheme is going on in India for industries. Government notifies that which industries will be eligible for it, which industries are given targets. All these things are notified by government from time to time. Okay. So this is perform, achieve, trade scheme of India. Okay. Is that clear? What is this carbon market and what is this perform, achieve, trade? Yes. So this is our third topic, that is carbon market. Now you all know that India has made a target. India has announced in the 26th COP at Glasgow Summit, India has announced Panch Amrit. What are those Panchamrit? What are those Panchamrit? What is the announcement by India at 26th COP in Glasgow, UK? Zero carbon emission or carbon neutrality by 2070. Yes, that is one. Net zero by 2070. We have one of the first target, net zero emissions. Net zero emission by 2070. That is one of the Panchamrit. I am waiting for you. Increasing fossil fuel capacity. How India will do that? We cannot increase fossil fuel capacity. It will go against the carbon reduction norms. Net zero we have seen, yes. 500 gigawatts of renewable energy, okay? See, one second part is reducing emission intensity. Reduction in emission intensity by 45%. Means whatever carbon we were emitting in 2005, we are going to reduce it by 45%. Okay. So whatever there was like in 2005, we are going to reduce it by 45%. Carbon emission intensity will be reduced. Third part is 1 billion ton of carbon sink or carbon reduction. Carbon sink or reduction means we will reduce 1 billion ton of carbon dioxide. Okay. Then there is another part, 50% energy by non-fossil sources and 500 gigawatt of energy, 500 gigawatt of renewable energy. Yes. So this was part of Panchamrit plan given by India during the Glasgow summit in UK in 2021. Okay. Now, coming to the next topic, that is GST Council. This was a news article last day also. We were not able to discuss this, but let us discuss it now. Okay. So what is this GST Council all about? Okay. If you look at this, it is like it has been brought in by 101st Amendment Act. Okay. So this is also important. Sometimes UPSC is asking about it, that which Amendment Act was used. So 101 Amendment Act was there for GST. How you can relate it? Normally when you are going to any festivals, like especially when you are going to any relative, or let us say any wedding or anything, so you are giving 101 rupees or 501 rupees. So normally many a times you are giving 101 rupees. So this is also a tax. Tax is also like a contribution, and contribution comes in lucky numbers. So that lucky number here is 101. Okay. So try to memorize this by this trick. It is also a lucky number, 101. Keep on paying that contribution towards the government, towards the public fund of India. Okay. So that is 101st Amendment Act for GST. Okay. Article is 279A. Article is 279A. Okay. Then what was the part of this? It has empowered the President of India to constitute a GST Council. Okay. So GST Council was constituted by the President of India under the powers given by the 279A article of the Constitution of India. So this is a constitutional body. GST Council is a constitutional body because the Constitution has mandated its creation. Okay. Now, Secretariat is of course there in Delhi, and Union Revenue Secretary is the ex officio secretary to the council. The person who is in charge of Union Revenue Secretary, he will be the ex officio secretary of this GST Council. Can you tell me who will be the chairperson? Who will be the chairperson of GST Council? Acha, you always take, never give. That is also good. Good policy. Yes, so it was a dakshina of 101 rupees. So I am getting one answer as a few answers as Prime Minister, one answer as Finance Minister. What about other people? So yes, if we look at this, we have the Union Finance Minister. We have the Union Finance Minister as the chairperson of this body. Then after, we have the Union Minister of State in charge of revenue or finance. He is also a part of it. So whoever is the Minister of State in charge of revenue or finance, he will also be part of it. The Minister in charge of finance or taxation or any other ministry nominated by state government. Do remember one thing, it is not by default Chief Minister. By default, it will be the Minister in charge of finance or taxation or any other minister nominated by the state government. So it is not going to be the Chief Minister of State always. Do remember this part. Here you might get confused that who will be part of this GST Council. So in GST Council, from the states, it will be the Ministry of Finance or Taxation or any other minister which is nominated by the state government. So by default, it is not Chief Minister. Okay. So the chairperson is the Finance Minister of India, Finance Minister of Union. Then the Union Minister in charge of this revenue department or revenue ministry, he will also be part of it. Then minister who is part of either the finance department or taxation or any other minister nominated by state government, they will become part of it. Okay. Also, like chairperson of Central Board of Excise and Custom as permanent invitee. Okay. He is of course having no voting power, but this chairperson of the Central Board of Excise and Custom, he will be a permanent invitee to this council because he have to take part in it. Okay. Who will be the vice chairperson? Chairperson we have seen, it is going to be the Finance Minister. For vice chairperson, the members of the council from a state, they will choose one among themselves. So all the states who are there as part of this GST Council, they will choose someone among themselves as the vice chairperson. Okay. So this is also a remarkable part about this GST Council. Okay. That first thing is the chairperson is Finance Minister, how the members are there and who will be the vice chairperson. Some more part about this. Okay. What is the minimum quorum? Like how many members must be present in order to start the meeting? In order to start the meeting, 1/2 of the total number of members of the council must be present. Okay. So 1/2 of the members must be present in order to start any meeting. Second thing is decision making. Okay. So see, in decision making, this is a very crucial part. In decision making, the decision is taken by 3/4 majority. The decision is taken by 3/4 majority, not by 2/3. Okay. So a majority of not less than 3/4 of the weighted votes of the member present and voting. Okay. So that is 3/4 of the weighted votes of member. Okay. Then central government, what is their vote share? It is not that central government is having just 1 or 2 votes. Central government is having 1/3 of the total votes cast in that meeting. So central government, although they have only 2 persons there, but still their vote share is 1/3, and the states, they have the vote share of 2/3. Okay. So neither the union nor the state on their own can take any decision in GST Council. They all have to work together in order to achieve this 3/4 majority. They have to work together in order to get this 3/4 majority. Otherwise, they will not be able to take the decision. Okay. So this is one of the crucial part of this GST Council. I hope it is clear. Okay, so tomorrow we will meet again, and then I will ask you questions with respect to how many councils. Councils are just, GST Council is one body. GST Council is one body. In tomorrow's session, we are going to discuss some of the questions related to the current affairs which we have discussed in the last 4 or 5 classes and even of the previous weeks. Okay. So let's meet tomorrow then, and we will discuss the remaining things. Thank you so much and take care. Thank you. The homework for tomorrow is to revise the current affairs. Revise the current affairs of this week. We'll ask you questions tomorrow.